Now, it's one of the lesser-known health statistics that both intrigues and surprises. Official figures show that sexually transmitted infections are rising fast in the over 65s, an increase of 40%. And whilst the absolute numbers may be small, the trend is firmly upwards. A poll commissioned by Channel 4 News suggests that statistics could be a symptom of changing attitudes and behaviour among the older generation. More than half of the over 60s we polled are more sexually confident now than they were when they were younger, and a quarter said that they enjoy sex more now. But three-quarters told us they don't bother with sexual health advice at their age, and around a quarter felt that after the menopause there was no longer a need for condoms. In the first report of a series on love and sex among the over 60s, we look at how new social networks are throwing up both opportunities and risks for the over 60s.
Can you look at the camera now? That's it, perfect, thank you.
I can say that sometimes in the street I thought, oh, yeah, that would be a nice person to go to bed with.
It's the secret sex life of parents and grandparents. That's what one 70-year-old in Somerset told us.
Younger people nowadays must think, oh, God, that's gross, you know, granny's at it.
We've been out across the country investigating love, relationships and sex in what's fast becoming a new old age.
I think it's just assumed that after menopause, it's done with.
In exclusive research, we've spoken to more than 500 people aged 60 and up. And whatever younger people might like to think, they're very much still in the game.
I'm looking for a sexual pal. I'm not looking for an Olympic performer, but I'm not offering it either.
That's your moment, yeah? That's your moment.
Today, photographer Ed Ozolo is taking photos for his new project about being beautiful and sexy over 60.
Okay, Margaret, you look at me, Myra. Myra, you look
These
at
women, like many we spoke to, say it just gets better. And whether single, straight or gay, many are enjoying a second bloom and sexual relationships well into their pension.
We still feel as though we have a right to be a sexual being as well as you know, everything else. We're not just grannies. I'm not anyway.
It used to be difficult to meet someone new in later life. But just as for young people, our respondents told us technology has transformed the dating scene.
Do you want to be Connie or Constance?
Connie, please. Connie.
33% of single people we spoke to said they'd like to meet a new partner. Connie, at 83, is venturing online to find someone.
I'm very excited about going dating, but the thing is that it couldn't possibly happen to me because there are so many gorgeous women and young girls out there that who the hell wants an 83-year-old?
Many commonly told us their children and grandchildren were heavily involved in their relationship decisions.
What I've done is I've set up an online dating profile for my grandma, and it's to my email address because she doesn't know how to use the internet. So I've got this brilliant way of vetoing the men and actually choosing them for her. I desire sexual activity. Somewhat? Maybe, yeah.
No, he enjoys life, he's definitely.
You like
John,
him?
yes, I do.
Should we send him a smiley? I've sent him a smile.
Whose smile?
Your smile.
When did you get
It's
a
not.
smile?
It's not a real smile. It's a little smiley face that you send, and it's a little way of
Which-
saying hello.
which
I like
smiley
you.
face did you send?
Just that one there.
I attend 1 or 2 classes, and in the beginning I thought, oh, I'd meet somebody, but the men are quite revolting.
He's a retired.
Oh no, I couldn't bear that. But
Why?
that beard, couldn't stand it. I think she's a bit worried that I could wear my heart on my sleeve, but I have got my wits about me. I do know what it's all about.
While Connie's just starting out on her dating adventure, Stella and Peter met online and got married last year.
I didn't tell my children I was going on internet dating. When my husband died, my first thought was exactly the same as my children. Well, that's it. I'm going to be a nana and I'm going to be there for them. But then I decided, no, there must be someone out there.
We spoke to many people who felt more able to start over again and enjoy a sexual reawakening. 51% counted themselves as sexually active.
For both of us, it had been many years, and you become terribly nervous.
I can remember sitting on the sofa with Stella, you know, and discussing this and saying, well, I really don't know whether everything works anymore. And we decided to find out, basically. My daughter, when we were actually getting to the more physical side of the relationship, she actually gave me some advice, which was...
Oh, God! Did she? Oh, dear!
4 messages. Does somebody else want me? He's 232 metres away. He's 34 years old.
At 69, Joey, too, has rediscovered the joy of sex, having fought to overcome the trauma of his 40s.
I was raped when I was 41. I just shut down sexually. It's been 28 years, really, without sex. I got to a point that I thought, I'm going to kick the bucket fairly soon. We've got the internet now, so therefore one watches pornography. And I wanted some of that.
3 months ago, Joey joined a mobile phone app for gay men.
I went on to Grindr, wrote my profile, and then tsunami. Just bombarded with just endless, terrific, fabulous-looking guys. The bodies, this guy has got a fabulous body. I'm averaging, I would say, about four men a week. I mean, that is 4 new people a week. And who thought at 69 I'd be a sex icon? And I am. It's just suddenly sex. And I'm good at it. Which apparently, that's the biggest surprise. I'm actually quite good at it.
But there is a downside. Increased availability of sex is leading to increased rates of sexually transmitted diseases. In fact, STIs in 50 to 90-year-olds have doubled in the past 10 years.
I know lots of people in their 50s and 60s who are divorcing, and they do come out of a long-term marriage and they seem quite, well, I would almost describe reckless.
In my mind, I think people that are doing internet dating, they've got to be so careful. They don't know who's going with how many partners.
The oldest male that we've had come into clinic was a 78-year-old with erectile dysfunction. He'd just started a new relationship. And the oldest female we've seen in clinic was a 69-year-old with an acute herpes infection.
Justin Gaffney is a sexual health nurse consultant with clinics across London.
There is a degree of naivety in the older population that they just don't perceive that they're at risk of sexual infections. They are anatomically more at risk of acquiring sexual infections. And society has to some degree become slightly more sexualised. There's modern treatments like Viagra that older guys are starting to use.
Part of Justin's job is re-educating older people about safe sex.
We do get experiences of people who've talked about using a lubricant or something for lubrication from the household. So that can be things like hand creams or moisturisers or even cooking oil. So there does need to be perhaps a focus on trying to make services more older people friendly.
Many people told us that their first marriages back in the 1950s and 1960s had been repressed. If they were dating today, they were keen to experiment. For some women, it was only in their later years they even had an orgasm for the first time.
I might have been in my 40s when I had an inkling of what it was. By my 60s, I finally figured out what it was. In my 70s, yes, that's what it is.
Lots of people we spoke to said they're now looking for a relationship on different terms. A 69-year-old Londoner said, I don't want the domestics like, have you got the milk in?
My take on the older men right now is that they're looking for a housekeeper or a caregiver, neither of which roles I'm prepared to take on.
Those desperate to avoid the mundane told us they were choosing to keep things fresh and exciting by living apart. In Hastings, Carol and David have houses either side of the road.
Hi, David.
It's more exciting seeing each other when you don't see each other all the time, and so you don't do all the banal things, I suppose. It's just your own space.
One of you would have to make compromises. You don't really want to be in a marriage. You don't want to be in a close, tight relationship again with all that involves with all the sort of mundane things.
He is younger than me, so the joke is, you know, I've got a toy boy, which is brilliant at my age.
We're happy living apart. It suits us well. It's great.
We heard repeatedly how unexpected this second chance of love and sex was. People told us they wanted to be recognised as sexual beings by the rest of society, and that just because you're over 60, it doesn't mean the urge goes away.
Latin muy caliente, very, very hot. Truth is stranger than fiction. Some hot guy at 69. No, this doesn't happen. But by God, it does. It has. And look how hot I am. I mean, well,